This is tough stuff.
And that's Nelson Piquet, the last of those cars. No, it's not, of course. Piquet's out. It's Patrese catching Elio De Angelis. And I would not be surprised if we do not even get a full World Championship leaderboard at the end of this race, because with only 10 cars in the running on the half-distance lap, that means to say that 16 have gone out in the first half of the race, 10 left, and that is Elio De Angelis in the JPS 91, car number 11, being chased by Riccardo Patrese.
Yes, who, if you remember, we saw earlier had a spin. That's Brian Henton's arrows just being manhandled away. He's only got one front wing left, but it doesn't seem to be retarding his progress in any way. He's recovered from his spin and is now going at it like a good one.
I remember here at Long Beach a few years ago, Alan Jones in the FW06 Williams car had exactly the same thing happen to him that Patrese has had. He had his offside front aerofoil dipping and scraping along the ground, and I gather, although I don't know from experience, that on a comparatively slow circuit like this, the loss of one front aerofoil does not make all that much difference. Indeed, Alan said he didn't even know he'd lost it.
Yes, and these days they're more sort of stabilising fins just to get the airflow going under the car. They really do very little the down thrust. That's all done with the aerodynamic shape underneath the car, with the ground effect shape, which gives them their suction and the huge quantity of grip that they're getting. And yes, De Angelis taking the inside live, Tracy leaping about two Italians at each other, hammer and tongs. There's probably a bit of fighting for a bit of national pride here, as well as passing, making it all that much more exciting. Tracy certainly never known to give any quarter in a battle. But well, that looks like, I think that's where De Cesaris crashed. I think they just left his wheel and hub lying around, and that's a pretty silly thing to do, because the brake assembly inside one of those wheels, it's a pretty heavy component, and a driver goes off there and hits that, he can do himself a lot of damage. No, dear, they're really scrapping away. And Patrase's done it, though. That was terrific stuff. And De Angelis made lots of feints and ducks and weaves, and Patrese was with all of them, and finally nipped through on the inside.
It's not only a battle between two Italians in two different makes of car, of course, it is a battle for World Championship points, because here, as we see the replay of Riccardo Patrese in Brabham number 2, passing his countryman Elio De Angelis in the JPS 91, Patrese moves up into 6th place and moves up into the World Championship points. So he is in the running for one World Championship point, which is one more than he's got at the moment, because he doesn't have any after South Africa and Brazil.
Of course, just remembering that miles out front, we've got Niki Lauda, who now, of course, is on purely an endurance run. He's will be very happy, I should think, with Watson having had to go in for tires to have the pressure completely removed, and I should think that Niki is now just nursing everything, nursing particularly his tires, particularly himself and his concentration, and he really has got it on a plate, and it's not the sort of position from which Niki Lauda is known for making mistakes. So now